GMODISM.
Well, hello. You're most welcome back to GMODISM. And we are back into From the Depths indeed. And maybe you think it was a while ago. Well, that's probably because you don't know what happened last time in adventure mode, and that probably means you are not following me on Twitch or are subscribed to the GMODIST VODs extra channel, and that means you probably should. In any case, here we are, we're building on the Gimle Super Battleship, and it is quite big. This is the 41st iteration, so it is one update newer than how we saw it last time where we added the civs systems. So I will be completely honest that it's only like 2000 materials more expensive, and I'm not 100% sure what I added. I think it may have been this auxiliary diff guns at the side to protect against, maybe. Or it's not, I don't actually know, but it's a kind of small change, so it doesn't matter too much. If in case you have forgotten, I think we should do a little quick sweep on how this build looks like right now. Here we have the cockpit, we have the sleeping matros, and we have a lot of potential people in the army of GMODISM who is trying to claim that role, I think. In any case, here we have the middle deck, nothing going on here. We go down, here we have the other deck, we have some tiny extra energy generation, probably not worth it, but I think it looks cool. We have the anti-missile system thing there, and we have the way where we can walk down into the big hall, in case you missed some episode. Here we have a docker to dock airships so that we can walk on board. We have the lunch of the day together with all sorts of goodies that bots might enjoy, and a lost thing. Some beautiful assets we lent from Setup for his Stridsjagd design, and the little pool table area. We go down here, we have like an empty area with more drinks yet again. And remember, this is a golden feast hall that's supposed to, well, you're supposed to await Ragnarok from there, kind of. Now these connections, they look kind of weird. Why did I add them? I'm not sure if I completely, whatever. It looks pretty cool. We have the Vigoletta Marksman, we have the Arquebalista, we got all sorts of cool turrets going on here. So yeah, and if we look inside this portion here, we still have a very empty big shell of a ship. If we go here, we of course don't use any water pumps because that lags too much, but I think you already know that. And I think my speed mode for going around is a little bit too quick. It's really twitching like that. I'm not sure if you like that or not. Like the video if you like it. Also like the video if you don't like it. More engines and some stuff like that. We have a tiny engine power problem, so that might need to be solved in the future. Or we need to cut down on the LAM a little bit. We shall indeed see. Now here we have this armor here, and I think this armor has a little too high block count, and it's probably not really delivering. This armor is probably really good against heat shells, but against what we have it at now, I don't think this armor is really good, but in this episode we won't really change those right now. So then you might wonder, what will this episode be about? Well, let me tell you. Do you see the biggest turrets here? Yes, these two. Above here we have the detonator, and below we have the crusher. Yes. So the crusher is a 3-barreled design, and it has some penetrating plumes of frags. So it's basically like some kind of heat cannon with slight EMP charges. And we divide it up in 3 barrels, which makes it so that it's less likely to get shot out of the sky using kinetic sieves. For the destroyer, we have a more classic Doomcram setup, and having all the payload in one shell makes it so that it's less likely for flak sieves to shoot down the target. And that's all in theory. And with this we can shoot down, we can avoid kinetic sieves, and with this we can avoid flak sieves. But after the previous episode, which you probably saw, I came to the fun little conclusion that flak diffs is kind of superior. Flak anti-cram sieves. We can shoot down big barrages from the setup's Turtle Lord using them, and I suspect that we could use the same weapon to great effect to counter this ship. So, firstly, I got some crazy idea. Now, the detonator doesn't have that long of a barrel for its stock design, so I thought that it would be a cool idea to redesign this turret, short barrel standard version, to a slightly more expensive turret that's named after our honorable Army of GMODISM Admiral Super Dave. So we're going to use Admiral Super Dave's glorious status and insert that into a upgraded version of this turret. Now, it's really cool that this turret is more cheap. I mean, that's a really good thing. But I thought that if we only have one firing piece, it could probably be a good idea to not only like have one layer of heavy armor protecting the pieces, but actually having some really thick turret armor. So we basically spend the cost. Since the crusher is more expensive, then I thought, what if we make this turret as expensive? So we're going to update this turret, and you're gonna see in a moment why we do that. Alright, so the stats at a glance. AOG detonator, 90-70 millimeter cram class A cannon. And why isn't it 2000? 2 reasons. Because I think that if it's a little bit smaller than the other ones, the enemy LAM system will not target the detonator, and they will instead target other cram cannons, which are not as high payload carrying. That's my thought. The other thing, it's boring to have everything 2000 millimeter. That's actually the main reason, by the way. So I want to have slight variations. So yes, maybe some of you think it's more efficient with flat 2000, but it's only 30 millimeters. I'm sure it doesn't make a huge big difference, and this is how I want to have it anyways, even if it's slightly less efficient. So when we have gone over that, you will see that the original detonator costs 150,000 materials. It is a good turret. It really is efficient. It really adds what we want. And if we go in here on sub-objects, we can see we have a detonator Mark II cram, class S Dave, and that's of course class S, like in S tier. You know where we're going with this. Anyways, and also SS in Super, so it's Super Dave. So here we have it, Admiral Super Dave's variant. We added some decals. It is more expensive. It's actually quite a bit more expensive. To be precise, it's 170,000 materials. So it's not that much more expensive, but more than 10,000. So we spent some on armor. And as you can see here, this now has heavy armor fronted areas, so that frags and stuff that is coming in a glance at the top of the turret will meet some heavy armor resistance, and this will make it so that they bounce off much easier. Now there is another thing that's changed with the SD variant. Here you can see the reload time is 16 seconds, 0.34, and the reload time on the original is 14.58 seconds. So basically, what we have done is that we have increased the reload time a little bit. So this shell health has 216,000, and this old shell health has 180,000 almost. So it's a little bit more sturdy in terms like that, because I thought that we really can't afford that the enemy shoots down the shell, so we're gonna make it slower, more expensive, and we did that by adding some more compactors at some free places. I think it may be slightly less efficient. We can easily check that because it's a single barrel cannon and it's easy to check stuff like that on these. But if we see here, where is it? Material cost, material per firepower, 506. And this one's material per firepower is 535. Okay, cool. It's actually more efficient, never mind. It shoots less often, but only slightly. They're still pretty... This is pretty fast to be this gauge, actually. A lot of people will recommend you having slower reload times. But since this is a capital ship, we really want to deal the max amount of damage we can in the earliest minute of the battle. So I think it's personally worth it for me to have a faster reload speed, because in case the first shell misses, and it has like 40-second reload speed like some people recommend you to have, I think that would be a catastrophe. So it's less than 20 seconds, so we can chug out 2 shells, and I hope it will not be too easy to actually shoot down this shell. Anyways, so that's an upgrade, and you might think we're pretty close to the material limit on cost. How are you gonna be able to support this? Well, you'll see in a moment. Anyways, this has, let's see here, what do we have? We have pellets, Horner, HE, frag, mostly frag, 12 EMP. This one has some more EMP, some less explosives, the same amount of frag. Yeah, so it's basically a similar loadout actually. And thanks to the longer barrel, the base inaccuracy is a little bit smaller. I think we should do like this. We should go into... Oh, what is it? Delete? No. Insert? No. Home. End. It is. And we're gonna cut off left, right. Where is he? Can have this little cutting thing here. You can see this also has a little shield projector in here. It's just turned off. This one is turned on, but I kept it there, of course. It has more heavy armor in front of it. It's of course a little bit EMP susceptible, as you probably know. But I really wanted the armor there, so I didn't think it was... here it is. I didn't... like 60% susceptible, yeah. I didn't think it was worth it to use one of these spaces there. Instead, I think we have some hidden surge protectors there. But you can see here we have some lighter heavy armor going on here. We of course have some serious heavy armor, but we don't have the thick stuff. Alright, I was just gone for like 5 minutes and you didn't notice, but whatever. Right, where were we? So, it has much thicker armor here, right? And one thing I really wanted to add, you can see this thing is kind of a little bit susceptible to hash spam in the wrong area. So if it gets shot here, bionk, the hash shells might get in here and deal some damage. It doesn't really have a lot of those angles to deal with the hash. It has it from above, because I would think that a hash spammer would come mostly from above, but that's a small weakness. So for the upgraded version, I made an little air pocket everywhere that's like heavy armor, and we had to have heavy armor versus heavy armor here just because we want to have enough armor, right? So I think this investment might be worthwhile. And now you might wonder, what are we like up to doing here? Well then, I will tell you. We're gonna do like this. We're gonna take our very nice little ship, and we're going to fit it. One of them we're going to fit with 2 AOG detonator 1970mm Mark II cram Class S Dave. Class S Dave. Yes. And the other one we're gonna fit with these. The Crushers. So, and we're gonna pitch them against each other. And we will thus do proper battle testing in order to see which of them is best. And this is something you always have to do when building ships. That's to test it against itself. Because one of the absolute best ways to really find the weaknesses this particular design has. So, without further ado, let's retrofit the ship and spawn them in. And that's not very fun, so I'll just do it. Alright, Team 1 is Q41 Super Dave. Team 2 in Scarlet Dawn colors are Q41 Crushers. Beautiful! And they're gonna spawn head on, so that they don't run away from each other and get close if they fail to maneuver. Great test to do that. So I'm gonna click the start button and I'll see you in 2 minutes when it's loaded in. And there we have it, the ships have loaded in. This is the AOG... Well, they're both the Gimlet, but this is the Super Dave variant, which you can see on these glorious turrets here. That have like blue stripes like this too. And I took that from the Admiral's badge, I believe, from the commissioned officer. And about that, I will also give huge thanks to Captain Y, Commander Jacob, Lieutenants Albert Benke, Asteria, C2, Cravey, Parbagreed, Talaras, and Vincent Veritas. Thanks a lot for supporting the channel. So we had some new folks joining, which is absolutely awesome. In any case, here we have it. That's the Super Dave thing. Let's move over to this evil Scarlet Dawn design, which is of course fitted with quadruple crushers. So it should really crush through any kinetic lamps. So let us slow... you know what? We should actually slow down time here. I want to see what happens. Alright. We got some shots incoming there. This is gonna be completely off, isn't it? They are grilling each other. Ooh. Yes, this laser, I'm not sure we have a lot of smoke in this area. That may be something we should fix. We have a laser warner here though. No, that's a munition warner. They updated the AI. This is the alpha branch, by the way. Because I think that's fun to play alpha branch. So our results should also be a little bit... well, we shouldn't believe them too much. Alright then. I wonder if the cram shells got through here. Hard to say. We should sneak by the cram shells coming in here. So here we have detonators, Super Dave detonators. 200k damage. These are really scary. If they get through, they can deal some serious damage. And one thing I was actually thinking about when building this design, that is that our armor is probably too expensive. Like, I know what you're saying, your armor is too thin, but honestly, I'm not sure about that. Oh, here we see the first flak rod is in there. Interceptors is popping in. Kinetic sieves 2. Oh, 3 flaks. Okay, and we got more. More interceptors. Oh, they got them out of the sky. Whew, that was that could have been real scary. And the laser is lasing here. Seem to not have stopped anything from moving yet. The laser has started to target up here. And that's probably because it's set against hot blocks and we have a heat decoy up there. And that's exactly why you need some heat decoys. Okay. Interesting. So, Crushers is actually behind, which is this one. I think it's time we speed up. We should probably speed up to normal speed, to be honest. Alright. I wonder where they did damage to this one. Now Super Dave has taken some damage too. It's equal stats for now. The pack is popping in. Bam. EMP surges goes through there. Oh, here we see the crams. We got 4 shots incoming there. Lambs target them. Whoa, they all go through, right? Bam! That's probably some damage there. Oh, this part of the feast hall isn't very easy. Did I mention this is hollow point mainly? The crushes are hollow points, so they basically crumple structures like this. Now, oh no. I forgot to set up the rotation limit on the turret. This is what happens if you don't set up your rotation limits properly. Your turrets might be sad like this. And is this one having the same? No, it's actually popping along very fine. Well, since 2 of the doom crams of the Super Dave is disabled for this test, I must say I think it's a little bit unfair. Actually, quite a bit unfair. Alright. Oh, well, we can see it's good to have bulk, that's for sure. I think actually Super Dave, in terms of like armor, has a little bit of an advantage here. Just because the crushers do a lot of surface damage and the Gimla has a lot of bulk. Both versions have the same bulk, of course. Yeah, these just go through. They get damaged, of course, but man. Alright. And there we have, we got popping along there. Here we can see a few of the barrels there on the crushers are damaged. Anti-missile systems are really shopping along here. Super Dave is like half a percentage behind. But I do also feel like that this particular battle is slightly unfair since it's not even in terms of the turrets. I would wanna see if the turrets will reach here or not. There we got some firing flashes. Okay. Come on, let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, they're gonna go through, aren't they? Bam, bam. They did go through. There's another barrel too. Yeah, that's some damage in the turrets there. Crushers and Super Dave are not far in between. It really picks those barrels off using using fragments and stuff like that. Alright. I think a lot of the diff rods are used up, and that's why we don't have so many of them shot out of the sky. But what I think we should restart the battle actually. I don't think the results is too interesting since 2 of the turrets are still stuck behind there. And there we have it, the battle is now ongoing, and you can see I spawned them slightly with the broadside angle to each other so that the guns will turn the right direction from the get-go. Right. They turn pretty quickly. The laser sound is... Whoa, hoo, 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 the needles! Man, they're exactly designed to do that, by the way. They're exactly designed to shower the target with needles if it destroys it. And you can see the needles still don't do too much damage. And that's actually partly thanks to my surface layer little armor, I believe. Alright. Cram shells are popping in there. One got destroyed. Yeah, they're coming in there. Ooh, Civ's turret is down. Well, that's 10k loss already. So the Crushers is actually a little bit in the lead here. And I have insane amount of like alpha Civs potential. It's pretty crazy. I know there are Doom Crowns that have health of like 400,000, but they don't reload this fast. They reload a lot slower usually. Alright. Crushers went down to 97. Interesting. Let's see, we got another volley of shots incoming there. They're going through. It looks like they're going through. It's hard to see when my game is in degraded mode. You know, we can run it thanks to not having any water pumps. If we had water pumps, I would not be able to run this. So that's why this rule, that's why that rule is no joke. Like, seriously. Alright. For me, it depends on your processor and stuff like that. I'm trying to target those crams, but they are getting through. You can see we did big damage to the cram shell, however. You can see that this cram shell didn't do much damage. I do wonder if that's really the 1970 no, the Crusher, or if that was actually our tiny cannon. But that's actually armor piercing, so it shouldn't be that. This is a small cluster of the extra turrets we have. I think it's the stealth daggers. Gonna be interesting to see if any of these shells get through. I think maybe. I think it was this gun that actually we went with to the Scarlet Dawn painted ship, the Crusher one. Alright, so, oh my god, the Crusher's version, this version, is down to 93%, and Super Dave is up to 97. It's very interesting. So when it had... Now this one has their cannons turned the wrong way. What's going on, man? Alright, minus... Okay, we set them with a, like, 30-degree angle. Come on now. The battle is ongoing. We're gonna follow this diff shot and see if it got sniped. It did actually get sniped. Okay, cool. Alright. Here we have the needles coming in here. I think I overestimate the power that my needles actually deal to the target when they land. Because this ain't much, man. This ain't much, man. Isn't that lovely? Our laser wastes time shooting on this tiny little heat, like, warm block up there. Whoa. This is interesting. What happened with the lasers? Oh, nothing. Oops. Here we got another volley of shots incoming. They got deleted, actually. I wonder if that was the small cannons. Probably was. The stealth daggers. Which are the ones you see in the center of screen right now. That, however, was not those. That's some proper stuff. Okay. Lambs popping in there. Did they disappear? It looked like they disappeared. It's so hard to see when we don't get the like the tails on these shots. Alright, popping in. Getting through. Interesting. But doesn't deal too much damage though. Another volley popping in there. Flak civs. Picking up most of it. We also have some live help of the seagulls, but not the one in the game, whatever it's called. In any case, see where this goes here. Ooh, wow, that seemed to do a... That's actually some surface level... Did that actually go deep? Interesting. 97 versus 96%. So the Super Daves are slightly in the lead. Now, this is not the fault of how we set it up. It seems that we have killed a weapons computer down here. Oh, yes, we have. Wow, so that turret is actually disabled from the fragments that entered. It felt like the battle has been going in this direction, the small like tests we have done previously. So we'll see if this continues, but I really wonder, it may be so that the Super Dave variant turret is superior and that we should only have that. Interesting. Do we get any shots coming in from here too? We got a couple of them. We're gonna follow through here, see what they are gonna do. Lambs took him out, and oh, the other one got bounced. Interesting. But crushers are really taking more damage quickly. It seems that the fragments from the Super Dave variant, from the detonator variant, just is more efficient in taking out important components. And I must say, I do feel I have a really high budget that's put onto shooting at onto shooting at incoming cramshells. So I'm really wondering if this like actually will pay off or not, because it is expensive to have this anti-cram system thing. And of course both of the ship have the same system. Now we're gonna see, will these get through? Do we have any diff guns shot left? Wow! They all got deleted. 2 minutes in. That's impressive, I think. 2 minutes in. This one also has the kinetic sieves left. And this beefed up turret seems to be more resilient than the crushers for sure. They do have quite a bit of more. They have quite a bit more armor on them too, of course, so that makes sense. Wow, that glanced off here. All right. The crushers is down to 89%. This is very interesting. I think we need to check the ships inside a little bit here. Yeah, the needles, they only deal damage if they actually reach the target. All right, so we have a little quick interior sweep here to see. We got some big holes there. But you can see it hasn't reached through to damage any of the important components, so I bet the Super Dave variant has so much more healthy lambs, while the crushers are down to 89%. And here we are. So what's happened here? We got a lot more of surface damage. I do think that the frags that has been able to penetrate has made, oh yes, they've dealt so much internal damage. The lamb nodes, that's not the lamb nodes, the lamb racks, packs, tubes, they're a little bit sad. Some of the energy generation damaged here. None of the turrets are actually intact from those shards. And even the engines have taken good bit beating too, so I do think that either the lambs are just damaged or the engines are damaged so that they can power the lambs. Interesting. Oh, bam! Did you see that? Holy crap! Well, that's just the pricken över it, as we say. It's the dot over the I. If that's something you can say in English, I don't know. In any case, ooh, Wow, very interesting. So yeah, no way we can stop this penetrating capabilities of the Super Dave variant of the Crushers. Here we have the Stoners, however. You can see how much, since this is like alloy tetras mostly, they just remove a chunk so big. That's really funny. They have the same, by the way. We only switch the cram systems. Well, this makes it very apparent that the Crushers, they're not really doing the heavy lifting, and since we have 4 Super Dave detonator turrets, we don't need to have Crushers as cover, because as said, they have 3 shots in them, and that would make it more likely for enemy civs to aim at clusters, which would be them, which would let the others through. But since the detonators are so strong in themselves, we don't really need to spend materials on that. And the higher health of the shots from the detonators makes it so that all of them are not shot out. And it seems that Super Dave's variant there is able to shoot out more of the cram shells that are coming in. But look at this design, it's not giving up. It is losing, but it's not giving up. Ooh, that was a nasty hit, man. Wow. I'm pretty happy with my detonators, especially the Super Dave variant. They're extra good, but also extra expensive. Alright. Let's fly with some Crushers here and see if they get through now. This Super Dave variant is still at 94%. Oh, and the Lambs took one and the Diff Rod took the other. Bam, that's teamwork, man. Alright, that settles it. The Crushers are officially a worse turret compared to the Super Dave variant for big battles like this. I do suspect that the Crushers will deliver much better results when fitted on a ship that's shooting on smaller ships, because then we could basically crumple those small ships with one blast, whereas the fragments could possibly miss, but that's just some speculations. Probably the Super Dave variant is just better all around, to be quite honest. Well, Doom Crams. Single barrel Doom Crams are a class of their own, and multi-barrel has some advantages in terms of materials per firepower, but it seems to be only for smaller designs. When we come up to the really big Doom Cram or larger crams in general with 3D Tetris and all that, it seems that a single barrel one is better. But we're gonna do an empirical testing video about that later for sure. By the way, I have upgraded these automatic turrets here. So now they actually fire not only this beautiful little shell, which is this a heat or is this a hash now? God damn it, I can't remember. This is hash. Anyways, they also fire disruptor conduits, because I thought that having a constant fire of disruptor conduits may help the crams to get through better. But both ships have them, so it shouldn't matter for this particular test. Yeah. But very interesting indeed that we got such results. And really bad luck for this turret to get taken out early on, but it has gone in this direction a long time, so I don't expect any other outcome. Well, in any case, I think we're gonna look at some future things that we're gonna work on in some future iterations. 42 is the answer, and this is version 154, yay, of the Q or Gimle project. And as you can see, both the Super Dave and Crushers variant were actually over budget. And now I have removed some stuff to make it not be over budget anymore, which is good. And here we have it. The awesome AOG Gimli Super Battleship. Not at all dramatic. Anyways, so what have we done? We made it fit the budget. So I had to remove some stuff. I wouldn't say it's junk, but I have to remove some stuff. I have made this AMS system a little bit smaller here. I did remove the pneumatic sieve system because it turns out it is really good at shooting at clamshells if they come in at the right angle. And they're really bad at shooting at like missiles and stuff, so it had to go because it was too expensive. Replaced it with a simple S-Corp little diff gun here to shoot at incoming clamshells instead, or missiles. Right, so that's actually the main things that has been saving some materials. And what we are going to do in future little iterations here is that we're going to switch up and test which armor could be potentially better than with the one we have here, since the one we have here is really good against heat, but that's something we're probably not gonna see and be spammed with. And heat at these sizes anyways doesn't matter too much, so whatever. Oh, and now I just remembered, we have a typo I need to fix that some of you in comments kindly told me to fix. So, and that is probably inside of here. Yeah, that's the Ragnarök. It's the Ragnarök, of course. I think it was that. Please, everyone, do a quick spell check. No. I'm gonna fix that later. So yeah, that's really cool. We're going to remove the side of the armor here and we're gonna replace it with some new stuff. Oh, about new stuff. I have started to design some merch on another company called Fourth Wall. Some products using spring were kind of expensive to get in some regions. So I will try to design more products using Fourth Wall, which has a little bit better price plan. And I really try to cut the prices and make it as cheap as possible there. Because the nice thing with Fourth Wall is that I can make it pretty cheap. It will be a little bit hard for me to like offer a discount like ever. But yeah, I probably see if I can offer some kind of discount to the commissioned officers in the Army of GMODISM, but generally there will probably never be a discount for the Fourth Wall store. I'll post a link to it in the description if you want to check it out already. All products are not there yet and there are a few that may be removed. You'll probably see which, or I may unpublish them actually. But in any case, you can check it out if you want to. Could be interesting to see your input, and it would be interesting to, if you tell me if you think the Teespring store, or if the Fourth Wall store, or if the Redbubble store is best. Now I haven't quality tested or know much about Redbubble. I heard that the quality varies kind of a lot. So that's why I don't want to have it as my merch provider. But their quality may be good, I just haven't checked it out, and I guess I'm skeptical from what I read online, but they're also really popular, so they are an option too. In any case, here we have it, the Gimli. Let me see if we have another iteration to look at. Well, we actually don't. I will say this, if you're interested in merch, I made a little video last week, I think, which was about, or was it this week? Which was about the quality review of Spring. So do check that out if you want to know some more details about that. Otherwise, you should definitely check out the first episode in this series if you haven't already. I hope to place that video on the screen now, so click there right now. Other than that, we're gonna be playing some pool here, so thanks a lot for watching and I'll see you next time. Whoops. Why did you do that? Ah, all hail repair tentacles. Or just tentacles.